Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Zach, and today we're going to be talking about Greek nouns and the Greek noun system.
First, we need to talk about groups of nouns. There are 3 different groups of nouns that have similar forms. These are called declensions. Today we are going to be learning about the first declension.
Before we get into that, though, we need to talk about the characteristics of Greek nouns that can change. When parsing Greek nouns, you're going to look for case, number, and gender. Gender is inherent to the Greek noun itself. Some words, for instance, are masculine and some are feminine. There are also gender-neutral or neuter nouns.
Case and number are indicated by the endings of the word. What is case? In Greek, nouns change a lot based on the way they are used in a sentence. While this happens a little bit at times in English, it is not nearly as extensive in Greek. For instance, in English, you use the same exact word whether it is used as a subject or a direct object. For example, bread is good and I ate bread. Both use the exact same spelling for bread. In Greek, however, the endings of the nouns would change to indicate how they are used in the sentence. The 5 cases in Greek are nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and vocative. The number of Greek nouns can either be singular or plural. This is also indicated by the endings because the endings of each case are different based upon whether a word is singular or if it's plural.
The first declension consists mostly of feminine nouns. While there are some masculine nouns in the first declension, we won't be dealing with any of these today. First declension feminine nouns all end in either alpha or eta.
Now we're going to be talking about the forms of the first declension nouns. Remember, the endings are based on the case, and the case is based on how the word is used in a sentence. I know you don't know what these cases mean yet, but we will get to that in just a moment. It would help if you write down these examples so that you can easily reference them when we use them as examples when explaining cases later.
There are 3 forms of first declension feminine nouns: pure alpha, pure eta, and mixed. What you see now is pure alpha. These are used when a noun ends in alpha and the letter before the alpha is either a vowel or a row. Now what's on the screen is what's known as pure eta. These endings are used when the noun ends in eta. Now you see the mixed endings. These are used when a noun ends in alpha and the letter preceding the alpha is any consonant besides rho. Here's all 3 side by side. Notice some similarities between the 3 different forms. In all 3 forms, they are the same when they are plural. In all 3, the nominative and vocative forms are the same. And in all 3, in the singular form, the letters around the stem letter are the same. For genitive, it has a sigma after the alpha or eta. Dative has a iota subscript, and accusative has a nu after the alpha or eta.
Also, there's 2 general similarities that you will always see across all declensions with a few forms. First of all, no matter what gender of the declension, the ending of the genitive plural noun is always omega nu. Secondly, dative case forms always have a iota somewhere in the ending. It may be a iota subscript, like the singular here, or it may be part of the ending, like the plural here. But it is always going to be somewhere in the case ending.
Now it's time to finally make sense of what all these cases mean. First of all, the nominative case is used when a noun is being used as either a subject or a predicate nominative, which is when a noun completes the meaning of a linking verb, such as is or to be. For instance, the sentence He ge estin basileia means the earth is a kingdom. This has both a nominative subject, earth, and predicate nominative, kingdom, which are both in the nominative case.
The genitive case is used to describe or show association. Usually, this can best be translated into English using the word of before the noun. For instance, hora doxes means hour of glory. Here, you see the nominative word hour being associated with glory. A very common usage of the genitive case is to show possession. For example, phone adelphes means voice of a sister, or could simply be translated a sister's voice. Here, you see the nominative subject, voice, belonging to the genitive noun, sister.
The dative case is usually used as an indirect object. Usually, this can best be translated into English using the word to before the noun. For instance, graphete adelphe would best be translated, you are writing to a sister.
The accusative case is most often used when a noun is a direct object. When translating this, there is no extra word needed since English uses the same spelling of a word as both a subject and a direct object. For example, blepomen gain would be translated, we see land.
Because word order in Greek is much more fluid than in English, understanding the difference between the accusative case and the nominative case is especially important to figure out which word is the subject and which is the object. For instance, the sentence exousi kardion adelphai would be translated, do sisters have a heart? Because heart is accusative and sisters is nominative, even though the word order is much different than we would have in English.
Lastly is the vocative case. This is used almost exclusively as a direct address. An example would be adelphe blepes, which means sister, do you see?
In Greek, there is no indefinite article like a or an in English. As you may have already noticed from our examples, often it is appropriate when translating to supply that yourself in English. There are definite articles, however, which correspond in meaning to the English word the. These change based on the case, number, and gender of the noun they are attached to. The case, number, and gender of the article will always match that of its main noun. For instance, the feminine definite article is he, so the phrase he adelphe would mean the sister. You'll learn more about the forms of the definite article and how it changes in the lessons to come.
Alright, now let's try practicing what we just learned. Translate these sentences.
Well, that's all we have for you.
We hope that this was a helpful process in growing you into becoming Greek scholars. Now good luck on your homework.